We are a river city, a bold city, the First Coast, a place to create and to belong. Here, the sun shines a little brighter, and so do the people. We share a love for our region, a pride for JAX, and a passion for the beautiful game, dedicated to giving everyone a sporting chance. Together, we will elevate soccer and sport in our community by lifting every voice. We are Sporting Club Jacksonville. We are Sporting JAX.
Hello and welcome into the Sporting JAX Report. I'm Cole Pemper. Hope everybody's enjoying a great Independence Day weekend. Coming up, the USL League 2 and W League teams look forward to the playoffs after making some history, plus how the U.S. women performed this week. But let's start with a high visibility announcement from Sporting JAX. When you talk about the most important sponsors for a soccer team, there's the stadium naming rights, and close behind that, the front of kit sponsor. The business that puts its name on the front of a soccer team shirt is saying, we believe in this club, we believe in the community, and we want everybody to know it. This week, a local business said just that as Ascension became the first kit sponsor for Sporting JAX. As part of the club's media day on Wednesday, the Ascension logo was unveiled on the shirt of the Gainbridge Super League team. It will also be on all of the youth team kits across the entire Sporting JAX ecosystem. Ascension will not only have its name emblazoned on the shirts, but you'll see more about the partnership between the club and Ascension moving forward, including as a healthcare provider for the team.
It's a huge day for the club. It's a long-term commitment. We share the same values, the same desire to push health forward, to push women's sport forward, and to make sure we work with the academy as well and the youth in the area. So it truly is an outstanding day for us. Delighted to have the news, and I hope very much the players are going to enjoy and appreciate the help going forward.
Wednesday's media day was also a chance for the team to get together as a group for the first time. Although they won't start on-field training until Tuesday, Wednesday's gathering was big for the players and the staff as the club looks ahead to the first season of professional women's soccer in Jacksonville.
It's vitally important to have good team chemistry, a really good culture within the camp. Can't speak enough about that. We're going to be doing a lot of things in terms of cohesiveness. We've got some resources to use in that sense too. So that's something that we hope, we can get a head start on before the season begins.
It's such an honor to wear this crest. You look around, I've been knowing about this team for the last however many years. I knew that it was kind of coming in the works. So to kind of see it come to life now, it just kind of felt like something really far away. And now seeing it up close with the crest, and we have all these tents, and we have this, it's incredible. And, I've played professional soccer before, but coming into this environment, it's really amazing to see what they've accomplished, especially in just the first year. It's groundbreaking, it's incredible. I think there's tons of little girls who are going to be thrilled to come to some games.
This is actually my first time meeting everyone, and I'm learning that I live right near a lot of the girls on the team. So I think I have a lot of mutual friends, but it's my first time meeting everyone, and I think there's going to be a lot of friendships and just good teammates on and off the field.
This week, Sporting JAX announced the signing of 7 more players to the roster, many of them with overseas and international experience. Among the signings is Jade Pennick, who most recently helped lead the Central Coast Mariners to a championship in Australia. She's also played for clubs in England, including Doncaster Bell, Sheffield United, and Birmingham City. She also played for Stacey Balaam in college at North Georgia, so a bit of a reunion there. Forward Meg Hughes started her college career at Providence and finished at Michigan State. She scored 23 goals in 4 seasons at Providence and added 7 goals and 6 assists in 22 games for the Spartans. Defender Davi Vaca played last season for Fort Lauderdale United after a college career at BYU and at Florida. She's also represented Tonga in international play. Goalkeeper Caitlin Parks was a second-team All-American as a sophomore at Wake Forest, and then she won 26 games in 2 seasons while playing at Michigan State. Midfielder Helena Arrington is a New Zealand native. She made her pro debut with Wellington Phoenix FC. She was the Golden Ball winner at the Oceania U20 World Cup qualifiers. She was an all-star in the National Premier League Women in Australia and played in Portugal with Sporting Club Portugal prior to signing with Wellington. Defender Grace Philpott starred at Kentucky before signing with the Gamebridge Super League team Brooklyn FC in January. She was an all-SEC performer for the Wildcats. Midfielder Sophie Jones has represented the United States at the youth level, including for the U23s. She was a standout at Duke, where she started all 75 matches in her career before being drafted by the Chicago Red Stars of the NWSL. Now she and the rest of the team will prepare to kick off training on Tuesday. Now for an update on Sporting JAX' USLW League and League Two teams. Both the women and the men won their respective divisions this season. That's the first time in club history that both teams won the division in the same year. Now it's the playoffs. Sporting JAX qualified for the 16-team playoffs in the W League with the women. First step in Asheville, North Carolina. If they advance past that, they'll be able to maybe make up for last year, where Sporting JAX was ranked number 1 in the nation, then called Florida Elite, but then lost some players to early college returns and fell in the postseason. The USL League Two team, the men, also won the Southeastern Division. Jacksonville still waiting for this weekend's games to conclude to find out where they will play in the playoffs and who they will face. League Two has a 32-team playoff bracket broken into 4 regions. Sporting JAX will be one of 8 teams in the Southern region. Time now for our USL Championship Game of the Week. And we go back to some Jägermeister Cup action between a pair of championship teams. On one hand, the top team in the Western Conference, New Mexico United. On the other, the defending champions, Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Switchbacks have been struggling early in the season, but these two sides provided a thriller in the desert. To Albuquerque we go, and group stage play in the USL Jägermeister Cup. Boy, do we have some action. 24th minute. Watch Luis Fernando create a chance for New Mexico. Slides one to Thomas Among, who punches it in from close range. New Mexico United takes a 1-0 lead. Just 4 minutes later, Colorado Springs responds. Juan Tejada on the finish after the setup from Anthony Fontana. This rocket to the left corner. Game tied at 1-1. After a PK makes it 2-1 New Mexico, 65th minute, Colorado Springs evens it again. Anthony Fontana finds a space and smashes it home from the center of the box. It's 2-2 in Albuquerque. 92nd minute now. We go to penalty kicks, and Christopher Gloucester buries his shot top left. And the final opportunity, Matt Mahoney hits the crossbar. That's it. New Mexico United wins it 3-2 on penalties to advance to the round of 16. All right, let's welcome in now Mauricio Ruiz. Now, whether it's a league fixture or a cup match, this game between New Mexico and Colorado Springs had everything you're looking for. What a thrilling game.
It is, and what a great setting. Over 10,000 fans down in New Mexico, Rio Grande Stadium, and they came for a show, and that's exactly what they got. And fortunately for them, the whole team did prevail, but it was a tight one. It was a close game. Colorado Switchbacks really gave New Mexico everything they could. 2 really even teams in 2 different places in their season. New Mexico leading the West Conference, but Colorado was the defending champion as well. So there's a lot riding on this rivalry, and the Jägermeister Cup is a great opportunity. That doesn't matter where you are in the standings, Cole. As you saw in that game, it's gonna be a hot game, specifically when you deal with competition and some rivalry, as those 2 teams have built some in the past.
All right, let's take a look at the standings here. Not a lot of change because you had a lot of USL Jägermeister Cup action over the last week. New Mexico United still on top in the East. Boy, El Paso, probably the team of the first portion of the season here, at least out west. They have been terrific this year, hanging around, certainly within shouting distance in the standings of the top team, New Mexico United. In the East, we've been keeping an eye on Lou City, of course. They have been the best team in the league, 34 points clear of Charleston Battery by 2. Charleston coming off a win and a draw in their last 2. Loudoun United was the early story, but they've dropped their last 2 matchups. We'll also be keeping an eye to see if Tampa Bay Rowdies can respond. It's been an uncharacteristically poor season for Tampa Bay thus far. Usually a team in the playoff picture, usually in the top half of the league, but this year, next to the bottom, just 11 points for the Rowdies. They've won only 3 of 14 matches thus far as they try to get things straightened out as we near the halfway point in the USL Championship season. Sporting JAX takes the pitch for the first time on August 2nd against the Scottish champions Hibernian FC, and then 8 days later against Wrexham. We have a great deal for you. Tickets with both games as part of our Euro pack. It ensures your best price outside of being a season ticket holder. Go to sportingjax.com/Europack or call 904-863-KICK to be there for the historic first games for Sporting JAX. Speaking of season tickets, they are on sale now and start from just $10 per game for students and go up to the field seats and premium hospitality. You can pay for your season tickets with an interest-free installment plan. Get all the benefits of season ticket ownership from your first payment. Be a part of the first professional women's team in Jacksonville. Go to sportingjax.com or call 904-863-KICK to join the movement. Still to come, Becky Burley joins us with her review of the U.S. women's national team. That's next as the Sporting JAX report rolls on. The next nationally televised USL Championship game scheduled for tomorrow at 5 p.m. as the Charleston Battery hosts North Carolina FC in the Carolina Derby. You can see the game tomorrow on CBS Sports Network. And we now welcome in Becky Burley, who joins us each and every week. Becky, let's start with your reaction to the players announced this week. I want to start with Jade Pennick. The previous announcements have largely been made up of college players, but Pennick comes with a great pedigree.
Well, I think it is a great idea to mix some vets in with some younger players, because a lot of the first year stuff is around, who are we going to be? What's our identity? How do we react to certain things? And to have someone with her experience come in and to have someone who has a connection to the head coach, I think both those things are really important.
What strikes you about the other signees?
There's some good ones in there. I'm excited about this group. I'm a big Sophie Jones fan, always have been. When she played at Duke, I thought she was highly underrated. She just does so many things that don't show up in the stat sheet. I think having a quality backup goalkeeper is very important, and not that she will be. I mean, it's an open competition at the beginning of the year, right? But in terms of being an All-American by your sophomore year in college at that position, that is not an easy task. So I think that's super important. I'm excited about the New Zealand international. She seems to be a rising star in the international scene. And, that young age and being that ambitious and having the experience she has already is bound to pay off in certain ways. And in the end, I think this whole group has done a really good job. Grace Philpotts at Kentucky, she's got some great experience in the SEC at a high level, was a major contributor. Being all the SEC is nothing to sneeze at. So it's a great group.
And let's give a shout out now to Avery Patterson. The Jacksonville native scored her first goal for the United States last week as the U.S. women's national team won 3 matches. What a moment for her.
It was quite a moment. I was there in person, and man, people were excited about that. And I think they're just excited in general about Avery Patterson. I mean, clearly I'm not a decision maker in that, but she has got to make that team. She's just made an impact every time she stepped on the field. And, her offensive impact is one thing, but she's also a really solid defender. And I think that's one of the things that the national team is looking for, is somebody who can be very, very good on both sides of the ball.
And Avery had an assist against Canada on Wednesday as well. So let's do a progress report at this point. Where is Emma Hayes' team? What do you think?
I mean, she's got to be thrilled with where they are. I honestly think one of the hardest things is going to be narrowing this pool down. I mean, there were some pretty good performances in those last few games from players that haven't necessarily been super regulars. I thought that left side, like Alyssa Thompson, she was just impossible to stop in that first game. And I think there's just some really good young players who are pushing some of these veterans to really step up their level. Michelle Cooper had a ton of opportunities, and you could probably argue that she needs to finish some of those opportunities. But then who comes in off the bench? You got Lynn coming off the bench who's like, wow, like this is a sub. If I'm Ireland, I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, for sure. It's been very impressive. Hey, we want to thank everyone who came out to Colhane's on Sunday to watch the U.S. women's national team face Ireland. We had a great time at the event. That is the last watch party on the schedule for now for the summer, but we can look forward to more events to gather together in the future. Group tickets are now on sale for the Sporting JAX inaugural season. Groups of 10 or more can enjoy the best price for single game tickets. You gather your friends, family, and coworkers to enjoy a night at Sporting JAX. General admission for group tickets start at just $22 per seat. Club seats only $39 a piece. Call 904-863-KICK or go to sportingjax.com to order your group tickets for pro soccer in Jacksonville. Still to come, our youth soccer spotlight. How some of the youngest players in our area are learning the game. That's straight ahead. More to come right after this. The inaugural Sporting JAX kit has been unveiled, and now you can order your own. Use the QR code on your screen to order your official Sporting JAX shirt. You can also go to sportingjax.com/shop, or we've just launched a new online store. It is time now for the Youth Soccer Spotlight, presented by the Bearded Pig Barbecue, as we welcome in Emerson Burris this week. Emerson, a story about soccer opening up the globe to young players.
Absolutely, Cole. One local coach is giving young athletes a once-in-a-lifetime chance, taking 2 Jacksonville-based teams overseas to compete on the international stage.
It's up to you guys to organize, up to you guys to defend. Hang on. Do you understand?
Coach Gavin Carlin's soccer story started as a teenager in Ireland. Now he's sharing his journey and passion with Jacksonville's next generation.
Lucky enough, at 16 years old, I was signed by West Bromwich Albion over in England. I'll never forget it. The email was, "Do you want to come play in America?" from Jacksonville University. And I thought I'd be here one semester because of the heat, because of the humidity. But look at me now, 14 years later, running soccer academies, married, wife, baby, kids, dog, the whole 9 yards.
Through his academy, Good Lad Soccer, Carlin is taking 2 elite youth teams to the prestigious Foyle Cup in Derry, Northern Ireland, where his own playing career began.
There, I played in this tournament, the Foyle Cup, back in 2004, so I know it's ahead of them, and now I'm taking a team from America over there, so it's going to be a clash of 2 worlds, seeing kids here from the Pontevedra, Jacksonville area playing against kids that are from the Derry and from Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, the UK, so it's, like I said, probably that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
The teams, made up of the top 1% of talent from the area, have already started training for the faster, more physical international style of play.
It'll be very from back to front, very, very quick, direct, high pressing, high aggression, high intensity style of play, and that's what these sessions are all about.
The intensity is high and I'm getting extra practice out of it, so it's pretty good.
Coach Gavin pushes us really hard. This team is really good and we could go places.
I've been training with Coach Gavin for my whole soccer career, and the fact that he put this team together is just really amazing. I don't think I would be where I am today without Coach Gavin.
With support from the local soccer community, including a contribution from Sporting JAX, Carlin is helping players turn their dreams into a global experience.
We're blown away by the amount of interest we had signing up for the team as well, and the fact that we could only take 25 overall, where we could nearly have took 85. So these 25 players we're taking are really a cut above for their age.
The Foyle Cup kicks off July 21st in Northern Ireland. We'll be following Coach Carlin and the teams as they prepare for the big stage overseas.
Well, what an experience for those kids, the opportunity to travel and play at that level. They have to figure out, what Coach is saying, a little bit of a different accent. I love to hear it.
Yep.
But boy, what a great experience. And this really shows, because it is a global game, what soccer can do for a wider experience.
Absolutely. Some of these girls have never been out of the country, like they said. They're so excited to not only play the game overseas, but also experience the world a little bit.
Well, we got a chance to experience the Jacksonville soccer world a little bit this week as part of Media Day. You were there as the most of the roster was getting videos and photos and so forth taken. It was the first time that all of them that are in town so far have been together in one place. What did you take away from seeing the interactions?
I had a blast, and I think the team had a blast. There were 4 stations, green screens, 360 cam, immersive experiences, and the girls just had so much fun. We got to know them a little bit outside of the game, and it was so fun seeing them interact. And yeah, it was the first time most of them had met and interacted with each other, and we're looking forward to training camp next week.
Well, we've talked a lot about building the foundation for this team, and part of that comes from spending time together away from the pitch. I did understand there were a couple of them got together, maybe half a dozen, were kicking the ball around. Yep. Just a little time to get to know each other. That's going to be so important as the season continues. There are going to be ups and downs, and they need to be able to hang together as a group. That's one thing that Stacey Balaam keeps saying, is the chemistry off the field is just as important as it is on the field, and seeing them interact and get to know each other outside of the sport is extremely important for the chemistry on the field. And that'll be a storyline we'll be following as the first season unfolds for sure. Emerson, thank you so much. For more on Sporting JAX and the world of soccer, join Mark Warburton, Stacey Balaam, and me every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010XL. It's the Coaches Show presented by Sporting JAX. You can listen on air at 1010 a.m., online or on demand at 1010XL.com. Every week now, by the way, we'll be bringing in a player to join us as well. It was goalkeeper Jamie Gerstenberg last week. You can find that on demand. And be sure to join Mauricio, Becky, and me every Thursday night at 6 for the Sporting JAX Soccer Hour. We cover the entire soccer world, including Sporting JAX and the USL and beyond. Thursday nights at 6 on AM 930 Fox Sports Radio Jacksonville or the iHeart app. Still to come, Mauricio Ruiz rejoins me to size up the U.S. men's national team in the Gold Cup. That's next as the Sporting JAX report continues. A reminder, you can catch the Sporting JAX report every weekend on the stations of First Coast News. We move around a little bit during the off-season for the Premier League. Next week, 12:30 on NBC 12 on Saturday. You can also find us on demand at First Coast News Plus and the Sporting JAX YouTube channel. All right, Mauricio, let's talk about the men's national team. Did they do enough in the Gold Cup to get to the finals to give you a better feeling about their chances heading to next year's World Cup?
Yeah, certainly coming into the Gold Cup, I think a lot of people had doubts, but now they continue to get results. And this is a big one, right? Getting back into the Gold Cup final, into an opportunity to win a trophy before entering the World Cup cycle, which is going to start now, effectively at the end of this Gold Cup for the U.S. So this is huge. Not only getting some good performance along the way, not great performances, but good results from some players that were, to be, truth be told, a little bit untested. So this is a great confidence boost to get to this point. Now you got one more. You got to lift that trophy to really have momentum going into the World Cup cycle.
All right, so the U.S. will face Mexico in the Gold Cup final tomorrow night at 7. It'll be the 79th meeting between the two sides. We'll see if Diego Luna can have another big performance, as he's been so good for the U.S. and has been given the opportunity. The last time these two sides faced each other, last October, Mexico won 2-0. That was the first win for Mexico in 8 tries in the 2020s. The two countries have combined to win 16 Gold Cups. The U.S. beat Mexico 1-0 after extra time to win the Gold Cup final in 2021. And there is no doubt that where this team is right now is much better than it was before the Gold Cup. Now the question is what happens moving forward. There are so many moving pieces with so many players who either are injured or are playing in other competitions or are taking a break, who didn't play for the U.S. now in the Gold Cup, who will likely be key performers for the U.S. in the World Cup. And there won't be many opportunities for them to get on the field together between now and then. Still a lot of question marks for Mauricio Pochettino's team, but you feel a whole lot better about things now that they've gotten to this point in the Gold Cup playing in the finals. The countdown is on. Training camp for Sporting JAX begins in just 2 days. The preseason home opener against Hibs approaches in 28 days, and it's 49 days until the kickoff in the Gainbridge Super League. And on next week's show, we'll have reaction from the first sessions of training camp. We are getting down to it. Follow us on social media for the very latest on what's happening with Sporting JAX. We'll talk to you again next week, right here on the Sporting JAX Report, as we get closer and closer to kickoff of the women's team.